Hello there everyone, this is the time, this is the moment where you will find out who will qualify for Season 3 of MMI. 24 teams are entering into this qualifiers and only 12 will make it out alive. As you see, our first event here, Team Pursuit, with the Team Pursuit rules coming up now. So gonna see all of our groups. We have two groups here, Group A and Group B, and all of the teams that will be in each group as well. Group A will be coming first up here, then Group B after, as we do have the test run for Team Pursuit, which will be Axolotls and the Cat Size, which will be the same in the frenzy round. See, Cat Size will be starting behind here. It's like they're gonna lose, but the Axolotls do manage to lose in the end, I do believe, if I remember from the frenzy round. And yeah, they do manage to lose in the end from the Cat Size here. See, times can be quite varied in this event. We saw a sub-16 time from the Camel Hiders in the frenzy round. Will anyone be able to do that today in the qualifiers? See, the Cat Size got a 17.59, Axolotls 18.29. As we are going to be entering into our first matchup here in Group A between Team Oreo and the IKEA shoppers. Team Oreo got themselves two brand new members after two of their members left the team. Let's see how this new dynamic will work out for them. They are currently leading the way over the IKEA shoppers. Looks like IKEA shoppers will be able to overtake them as they enter into the splits. It looks like Team Oreo are currently losing. Will they be able to regain? It looks like they will. They bounce worth the IKEA shoppers back, and that is how it's gonna stay. Team Oreo will be winning with their new dynamic here with two brand new marbles on the team. They will win with a 17.06 second time, almost a sub 17 second time for them, while IKEA shoppers quite poor time for them. As we enter into Heat 2, Cherry Chasers and the Blood Moons. Both of these teams were on the overall podium in Season 1, the Blood Moons actually winning that season. Both of them are now into Season 3 qualifiers, itching to get back here in Season 3, and it looks like currently the Cherry Chasers have to lead through the Blood Moons, so the Blood Moons make a nice overtake over the Cherry Chasers. Will they be able to hold it though? No, they will not. Have to close in as much as possible, and oh, that was a very close race near the end. But it's unfortunately not enough for the Blood Moons. Cherry Chasers will be winning this race, and they will actually, both of them will go top 2 so far. All of these times so far have been quite poor compared to the frenzy rounds. Let's see what Heat 3 will be able to do, as Heat 3 is Crystal Cyclones and Emerald Gems. Both of these teams did quite mediocre in the Season 2 main league last season, so they are hoping for redemption here in the Season 3 qualifiers. So a lot of these teams are actually hoping for redemption in the Season 3 qualifiers. It looks like the Emerald Gems actually start up behind this time around, and they have one marble quite far back. Will they be able to overtake? They missed their opportunity, and that allows the Crystal Cyclones to get an easy win over the Emerald Gems here. Crystal Cyclones look to have quite a good time, and that's actually going to go to P1. Crystal Cyclones currently hold the lead, while meanwhile Emerald Gems go to P5 out of 6 so far. But we still have 3 other runs here from Group A. Speaking of Group A, here's our Heat 4 from Group A, Chaos Crew and Reckless Reptiles. I think everyone knows the story of Chaos Crew. Chaos Crew dominated the Season 2 B-League. Really good. They're here in the Season 3 qualifiers, hoping to make it to the A-League for their first ever time. They're currently starting out with the lead over the Reckless Reptiles. Reckless Reptiles try to make an overtake, but Chaos Crew immediately overtakes back as they enter through the split. And wow, that was a good run from the Reckless Reptiles there. Looks like Chaos Crew didn't get as bad too. And look at that! Reckless Reptiles are going to have a sub-15 time there. It's the best time we have ever seen on this track. Oh my. Chaos Crew is also going to get a phenomenal time here with a 16.05 as we now move on to Heat 5. This is the Misty Mountains and the Dynamic Dynamites. These two are two Season 2 expansion teams, so let's see how they can do. And it looks like they are in the gates and they are ruined. One Misty Mountain member is currently behind at the moment. In fact, two Misty Mountains members are now behind. Looks like Misty Mountains are terribly losing so far over the Dynamites. Dynamites are having a really good run. That's going to stay. Misty Mountains are not able to overtake. Dynamites will be winning this seat and they're going to go to P4. Misty Mountains will be going to P5, which is quite good for them, since 10 teams have gone so far. That is currently top half for both of these two teams. As we now have one more run through Group A, it will be Firefighters and Skylights. Both of these two teams did quite poorly in the Season 2 showdown. Both of them would like some sort of redemption here in the Season 3 qualifiers. Especially for the Skylights here, they placed dead last in the Season 2 showdown. Looks like they're currently beating the Firefighters though at the moment. Looks like now they lose out to the Firefighters, who will be able to overtake in the split section. Some marbles go on different sides here, and the Skylights do manage to overtake. Looks like Skylights will be winning this round over the Firefighters, and the Skylights are going to go on to P3, which is an overall podium. This is the last heat. Skylights are going to take the overall bronze guaranteed. Firefighters did not do too shabby themselves. They're going to go into P4, which is just outside of the overall podium. Speaking of the overall podium, here it is for the first Red Ruckus Reptiles, Chaos Crew, and of course the Skylight, getting their first podium ever, and it's in a qualifiers. As you now see the results now, Reckless Reptiles, they had a really good time here in the qualifiers. See if anyone in Group B will be able to stack up. As you see the standings after Group A, of course, they'll just be the same as the results here, as we're gonna get into immediately into Group B. No rest for the weary here, as we do have Group B heat, one of the Aqua Surfers and Navy Aircraft. Two top teams in Season 2. Navy Aircraft were a newcomer in Season 2. Aqua Surfers were both in Season 2 and in Season 1 here. So both these two teams have quite good experiences. Currently, Navy Aircraft currently losing over the Aqua Surfers. It's like, would they be able to catch up? Yes, they will. Aqua Surfers are now losing. Searching marbles go down different sides here, and it looks like Navy Aircraft are going to win the seat over the Aqua Surfers. As we're going to see the results now, Navy Aircraft are going to have a sub-16 time. It's not going to be as good as the Reckless Reptiles time was in Group A, but that's still going to be quite good for them. Aqua Surfers, not too shabby of a time for them either, as they're now going to move on to Heat 2, which will be the Midnight Warriors and the Icy Hawks. Icy Hawks are a brand new team heading into these qualifiers, so this will be their first event competing in technically over the Midnight Warriors. Will they be able to beat the Midnight Warriors here? Looks like they are currently losing over the Midnight Warriors. Will that marble be able to catch up though? It looks like it will not, heading into the splits. The Midnight Warriors take different sides. It looks like, oh, they did not find the opening, and that led the Midnight Warriors to get the win over the Icy Hawks here. If the Icy Hawks were able to just find that opening, I think they could have won that race over the Midnight Warriors, but unfortunately, it was not today for their first ever win. As we see in this last section of the replay, that last Icy Hawks member didn't even enter in before, as we now move into Heat 3, Sticky Slimes and Team Smoke. Both these two teams did quite mediocre in the Season 3 A-League. So we'll see what they'll be able to do here in the Season 3 qualifiers. They do have perfect attendance though, both these two teams. Now this week, Sticky Slimes are currently winning this race over Team Smoke. Team Smoke overtakes in the Pinker section though. And that marble does take a different side, and that was Team Smoke to take the lead and get a win over the Sticky Slimes here. As we see in the replay how Team Smoke was able to do it, as we now look at also the time Team Smoke had quite a good time over the Sticky Slimes. It was not as good as some of the others we have seen today, but that's currently put them into P2 and P5 as of right now, as we now move on to Heat 4, which will be Crisp Tacos and the Lavenders. Both of these two teams finish on the overall podium in the Season 2 showdown. So let's see how they'll be able to do in the Season 3 qualifiers. It was quite shocking actually that Crisp Tacos even failed to qualify last season. I think they are still sorting out their new dynamic, of course, with bringing on two new members due to their rebrand that happened. Looks like Lavender is actually going to win this heat over them, though, here in this race. As we see, Lavender is actually going to get quite a good time, sub 16 time. Chris Tacos as well. As you're going to take a look at the end of this replay here, how Lavenders were able to overtake those Chris Tacos members. As we now move on to Heat 5, Dirtbox and Space Pirate. Both of these two teams finished middle in the pack last season's showdown. As you start to notice, we are getting into the showdown teams in Group B. That means we are nearing the end of this first event here in the quarterfinals. And we are rooting for this heat. It looks like Space Pirates currently start behind them. Will they be able to catch up though? Looks like they won't currency as they enter into splits. Everyone takes the same side instead of that one marble. Will that make a difference? Looks like it will. Looks like Space Pirates are going to get a win easily over the Dirtbox here. As we're going to take a look at the replay to see how it was done. Look at that. Space Pirates started so behind her, but they were able to catch up effortlessly here in this last section of the track. And look, that benefited them quite good as their time was actually good enough to put them into P4 as of now. As we head into the final heat of this Group B, Bubblegum Swirls and Plum Perfection. Bubblegum Swirls were the only team to rebrand in this season. So let's see if this new rebrand will be able to help them and qualify. Looks like they are currently starting out with the leads though. Like they have quite a big lead over Plum Perfection actually. Plum Perfection do catch up. They have now one marble currently struggling behind in the Pinko section. Would that be a fault for anything? It looks like a will. Plum Perfection are going to lose out here over the Bubblegum Swirls. As you see here in the replay, actually both of these two teams' times were quite bad. It's going to put them in 7th and 10th place. Oh wow, I did not recognize how bad both these two teams' times were. That does mean that the Lavenders will be winning this group here in Team Pursuit, followed by Navy Aircraft and Crystal Tacos for the first event of Group B. As you're going to see the results, which will be the lineup with the overall standings as well, which is currently Lavenders, Navy Aircraft, Crystal Tacos, Space Pirates, Team Smoke, and Aqua Surfers are currently in the qualification zone. While meanwhile, Bubblegum Swirls, Midnight Warriors, Dirtbox, Plum Perfection, Sticky Slimes, and Icy Hots are currently not as of Group B right now, as we now move into the second event of the qualifiers, Ice Dash. Ice Dash is a brand new type of event we have not seen. We have seen Sprint in Season 2 A-League last season, but this is a brand new type of track. As you see, our Ice Dash test run, which as you might have noticed will be the same exact as in the quarterfinals. And we are rolling against Cat's get out in front and they're going to win this heat. Very straightforward this event here. Usually one marble gets out in front and they instantly win it. As we take a look at the replay here, looks like Axolotls were actually drafting on the Cat's there, but they were not able to overtake in time. The track was just slightly more. I think the Axolotls could have overtaken the Cat's there. As we also see the test run times and now move on to Heat 1 with Haze, Paradox, Lizard, and Lapis, Misty Mountains, Emerald Gems, Reckless Reptiles, and Crystal Cycles all in this heat. And we are in this first heat, and it looks like Paradox gets out in front for the Emerald Gems, and they're gonna win this heat here in the first heat. Looks like the Reckless Reptiles do get second, and Misty Mountains do get third, with the Crystal Cycles falling behind there. As we see the results, it looks like Emerald Gems do get a really good time, a sub 3 second time, which I do believe is quite good for them. As we now move on to Heat 2, which will be Blossom, Market, Rain, and Wild. Cherry Chasers like Chaos Shoppers, Skylights, and Chaos Crew. As they prepare in the gates, who's going to get out in front early on? It will be the Skylights that actually get out in front early on, and they're going to win this heat. As you take a look at the replay, Skylights, they managed to get out in front early on and block certain teams. I think they blocked the Cherry Chasers there in the replay. And it looks like they're going to get the win. Yes, they will. And they're actually going to put them into P1 as of right now. Which means the success story of the Skies in these qualifiers will be continuing as of now. So now move on to our last heat of Group A. We have two captains in this heat, along with Smokey and Eclipse. And they are running, and it's like Oreo gets out in front, and Oreo, the captain of Team Oreo, will be able to win it for the team. But who gets third there between the Firefighters and Blood Moons? I couldn't tell. It looks like the Firefighters very edge out the Blood Moons, and that's what they're gonna say. By 1/10 by the looks of it, Firefighters will be getting the victory. But actually, I didn't even notice that Team Oreo goes into P1 here. As you see, the overall podium for this event went by quite fast. Team Oreo will be taking first. Over the Skyites and Dynamic Dynamites will be getting third, and that's quite good for all of those teams up above who are getting those podiums, as they're gonna see the overall results for this group. It's like Skyites currently take the lead, Reckless Reptiles moving to second place there, Team Oreo in third, Dynamic Dynamites fourth, Chaos Crew fifth, and Firefighters sixth. As we're gonna get into immediately with Group B with Lava, Surf, Grass, and Plum, Icy Hots, Aqua Surfers, Dirt Blocks, and Plum Perfection. And we are now rolling. It looks like Dirt Blocks take the early lead, and they're gonna win this heat over the Aqua Surfers there. It looks like Icy Hots, they try to overtake the Aqua Surfers, but they get denied by the reserve member Surf. As you see the results, Grass is actually going to get a really good time for the Dirt Blocks. That must be a podium time for them. Dirt Blocks should be quite happy with themselves as we now move on to Heat 2 with Midnight Warriors, Bubblegum Swirl, Space Pirates, and Navy Aircraft. And looks like we are offered this heat, and it's Space Pirates that gets out in front first, and looks like they're going to win that heat, but I have no idea who got first there between the Bubblegum Swirls and Navy Aircraft. That's going to be very close to the line between both those two teams. In fact, we're going to have to look at the results, and Navy Aircraft will barely win over the Bubblegum Swirls. They will be able to overtake them, but that's quite poor times for both those two teams. And now move on to Heat 3. Sticky Slimes, Lavenders, Crisp Tacos, and Team Smoke with Ooze, Lilac, Bite, and Foggy. 3 reserves and a former reserve here with Bite. It looks like it's Bite that currently gets out in front. And oh! What happened to Bite there? Looks like they got in front there, and then they looks like they smacked the wall and fell to second because of it. Looks like the Lavenders will be cheering because of that, because they actually won the heat. And it looks like that's going to put them into P2 and Crisp Tacos into P3. Which means both of them will be getting 2 medals to start off these qualifiers, which is very good for both of them. As I see the overall podium for this event, Dirt Blocks do actually manage to win this event with a 2.93 second time. The Lavenders almost barely overtakes that time, but they were just a tiny bit slower. As you see the standings after Group B, Lavenders and Crisp Tacos do currently take top 2 with the Dirt Blocks currently in third. While meanwhile, Midnight Warriors are currently on the outside looking in as we now move into our third event, the Snow Drag. Snow Drag was quite a good event in the friendly round. Of course, this is a new variant of it. As you see here, we have those ice sheets, or those paper sheets, as I should call them, on the track, creating a new dynamic for these marbles. As you see Rainbow Riders, Cat's-Eyes, Axolotls, and Storm Clouds now going. And it looks like they are currently off. Who's going to be the first marble to drop on through? It looks like it will be the Cat's-Eyes once again dropping on through. Storm Clouds right behind them though. Cat's-Eyes will be getting a good distance by the looks of it. Of course, this is the exact same test run as was in the qualifiers. The Cat's-Eyes will be getting one, Rainbow Riders getting second, the Axolotls. Actually no, it looks like Storm Clouds actually get third and Axolotls fourth. As you take a look at the replay there, it looks like Rainbow Riders actually do get in front of the Storm Clouds there. It looks like what do the Axolotls do? They get blocked by the Rainbow Riders, and the Axolotls actually do overtake the Storm Clouds by just barely though. Cat's-Eyes will be getting the win though. As we now move on to Heat 1 of Sakura, Jaguar, Shop, and Gecko. Cherry Chasers, Blood Ooze, Ikea Shoppers, and Reckless Reptiles all in this heat. And it looks like they are underway for the first heat of Group A here in Event 3. Who will be the first one to drop on through? It looks like it will be the Ikea Shoppers actually. They're going to get a good run by the looks of it. Bloodtooth are gonna go to the side, and Reckless Reptiles will too. Looks like Cherry Chasers, they're the last mob will drop on through, and oh, they get blocked by the IKEA shoppers there. As he's gonna take a little replay, IKEA shoppers got out in front early on. Bloodtooth, they tried to do that, but they just didn't get as much distance. Reckless Reptiles do manage to pass the Bloodtooth, but couldn't get as far out as the IKEA shoppers did. Cherry Chasers looked like they have more speed than the IKEA shoppers had, but they just couldn't get around them. And now the IKEA shoppers to get a pretty easy win here with a 34.2 centimeters distance. As we now move on to Hurricane, Cloud, Peak, and Inferno. 2 captains and 1 reserve competing in this heat. And we are running here in the funnel. Who will be the one to drop on through first? It looks like it will be the Firefighters with Inferno. No, it will be Misty Mounties of Peak. Peak will be dropping on through first, followed by the Skylights. Skylights do overtake them, and it looks like Skylights currently have the best run in this heat. What will Hurricane do? Hurricane will not do enough. Skylights will be winning this heat. Every heat Skylights have competed so far in the qualifiers, they have won it, which is very good news for Skylights fans. As you see here in the replay, Hurricane was the last runner-up. Did they get blocked by the Firefighters? By the looks of it, they did actually. Very good job by the Firefighters there to be able to block Hurricane for the Crystal Cyclones. See, Skylight's time, distance was not as good as the IKEA shoppers there. As you move on to Heat 3, Milk, Chaotic Bomber, and Barrel. As you notice, Milk from Team Oreo's brand new member. This is the first time a brand new member of Team Oreo will be competing in an individual event. Let's see if that helps them at all. Looks like it will be Barrel dropping on through first from the Emerald Gems. Looks like they're going to get quite a good distance. But Milk, oh, that's quite a good distance from them. Chaos Crew and Dynamite look to get good distances too. But look at what Milk did. We're going to get to see it again in the replay. Wow, I was not expecting that from a newcomer of all marbles. It looks like Chaos Crew do barely edge out the Dynamites here. Dynamites unfortunately just did not have enough speed to overtake them. But Milk, they're actually going to go into P1 with a 35.9 centimeters distance. Congratulations to Milk to win their first event ever. Team Oreo will be winning this event. IKEA shoppers the silver and Cherry Chasers the bronze. As you now move on to the results for Group A, there of course Milk won the event surprisingly over Shop of the IKEA shoppers and Sakura of the Cherry Chasers. Chaotic and Bomber also did quite good, and they were in the same heat as Team Oreo's Milk. And in fact, Team Oreo has guaranteed themselves qualification before the final event here. Congrats to Team Oreo here, they have done excellent in these first 3 events. As you now see, Snowdrag Heat 1 for Group B, Supernova, Gummy, Taco, and Aqua, Space Pirates, Bubblegum Swirls, Crisp Tacos, and Aqua Surfers. Now in the gate, and they are rolling. Who's going to be the first one to drop on through? Looks like it will be the Crisp Tacos that will drop on through first. Looks like they'll get a good distance there, followed by Space Pirates. Space Pirates are going to go right behind them as Bubblegum Swirls now drop on through. And oh, that was not a good run for the Bubblegum Swirls. As you take a look through the replay, Crisp Tacos got out in front there. Space Pirates almost got the same distance actually. I think Crisp Tacos narrowly edges them out. Same thing with Aqua Surfers and Bubblegum Swirls. Aqua Surfers get out in front first, and Bubblegum Swirls tries to overtake, but just can't. And yeah, that does reflect here in the results for Heat 1. And in fact, the Crisp Tacos are going to have a 33.5 centimeter distance, which is very good for that team. As you now have Icy Hot's Navy Aircraft, Team Swift, One Perfection, Ice, Salute, Smoke, and Grape running for those competitors. And we are off for the seat. It looks like Navy Aircraft tries to enter in through first, but it will be the Perfection. Actually, they'll drop on through first. Navy Aircraft drops it through behind them, and they actually roll up right behind them. Icy Hots are going to get blocked by the Navy Aircraft. Let's see what Team Smoke will be able to. And it looks like they will swerve all of them and get the victory. Team Smoke was the last team to drop on through, and they managed to beat all 3 of them by passing all of them at the end there. look at Perm Perfection. Navy Aircraft got right behind the Perm Perfection there, and that allowed them to block the Icy Hots who was going right after them. But then here comes Team Smoke going in a completely different area, and that allows them to get the win here with the Captain Smoke with a 32cm distance, which is going to put them in P2 for right now, as we now move on to our final heat of this group. Slimy, Lavender Block, and Midnight Sticky Slimes, Lavender's Dirt Blocks, and Midnight Warriors. See, a lot more captains have been going into this event than in the friendly round here. It's in the friendly round. But a lot of captains were in the final event. This time it was in the third event. Looks like the Captain of the Lavenders will be dropping her through first, and that's going to be a really good distance from them out of the bat. It's like Sticky Slimes are going to get quite a good distance as well. Midnight Warriors beat them to the line. I actually couldn't tell them. We're going to have to take a look at the replay for sure. But wow, Lavenders have been doing excellent these qualifiers. I'm pretty sure if they get a good distance here, they could also be guaranteed a qualification spot for this season. As you take a look at the last of the replays here, and wow, Lavenders are actually going to go into P1, and if my math is correct, they're going to be guaranteed qualification as well with Team Oreo heading into the final event here. Lavenders win this event. Crisp Tacos do get second. She's stay here podium every single time so far. Team Smoke will be getting the bronze here in the slow drag. Midnight Warriors just barely off the podium here in fourth, as now going to see the standings. And I am indeed correct. Lavenders will be guaranteed a spot. Crisp Tacos as well guaranteed a spot. Space Pirates are currently in third, Dirtbox fourth, Team Smoke fifth, and Midnight Warriors in sixth. As we head into our final event here, the funnel obstacle maze. This event was very, very chaotic in the friendly round, and it will probably be just as chaotic here in the qualifiers. A lot of overtakes, and it saw our only DNF in the qualifiers. I mean, in the friendly round with Oasis from Team Oasis. Will we see a DNF today though? As you see the test run, it will be the exact same from the friendly round, so there will be no DNFs there. See, Catsays do get out in front here. This test run will actually show how much overtakes you could see in a run here of the funnel obstacle maze. The Catsays were out in front, so it looks like they will be able to hold it though over the Axolotls and Rainbow Riders as they enter into the final funnel. The Axolotls do manage to overtake and get the victory over the Catsays. Looks like Rainbow Riders do get third and Axolotls get fourth. As you see here. Now actually that was the Stormcast that got fourth, not the Axolotls. Axolotls won this heat, my bad for that. See here in the replay, a lot of chances for marbles to be able to overtake in the funnels, and of course the obstacle section as well. The obstacle section was quite good for overtaking back over in IMM. We'll see a lot of overtakes here today as well. See, Axolotls got a 23.17 second time. That's the benchmark for these marbles. Will any of them be able to overtake that time today? As we see here in Heat 1, we do have Blood, Emerald, Cyclone, and Intruder. Bloodroots, Emerald Gems, and Crystal Cycles, and Chaos Crew will be taking on this course first, for the first ever time for these marbles. So you see, we're rolling, and it looks like Blood of the Bloodroots currently take out the early lead. Actually, didn't notice, but Bloodroots, if they don't win this heat here, then I'm pretty sure they are not qualifying for the season. That would be a lot of shock for a lot of people here. It's like they're actually quite far behind, and it's like Crystal Cyclones are going to win this heat with Cyclone. Emerald Gems are going to get second, Chaos Crew third, and Bloodroots fourth. I think that pretty much guarantees that Bloodroots are failing to qualify for this season, which is going to shock a lot of people, as I already previously said. As you take a look at this replay, what happened to the Bloodroots to lose out on that early lead that we weren't able to see it? Well, I wasn't able to see it. It looks like Cyclone was able to get a win there. It looks like there was a good battle for second there between Emerald and Intruder. It looks like Emerald will be able to get the better of the two. Plus the Cyclones do get a 23.35 second time, which is worse than the test run actually. As you now move on to Heat 2, Weather, Dip, Dragon, and IKEA. Skylights, Team Warrior, Reckless Reptiles, and IKEA Shoppers. And actually, 2 reserves will be going into this event. Reserves of Skylights and reserve of the Team Oreo. Of course, Team Oreo is basically guaranteed in, so I think they're just having a bit of fun with this last pick here. This Dip here is a brand new member for the team, so let's see if they'll be able to do something. It looks like Scarlett's currently take the lead, as he already entered the halfway through from this race here. Looks like Scarlett's are gonna win. Reckless Reptiles will be getting second. Who gets third? It will be that Kia Shoppers who gets third there, and Team Oreo will be getting dead last though. I think they're already celebrating that they have qualified for another season of MMI. They did not need to do anything in this event, and that clearly shows here. So you take a look at the replay. It looks like Skites were really good all around this race actually. It was really all that battle for second there. Kia Shoppers actually managed to make a move for third over the Team Warrior and did not recognize that as well. So take a look at times. Skylight's time was worse than the previous time from the Crystal Cyclones in Heat 1. As we now move on to Heat 3 of Group A. Summits, Cherry, Blaze, and Ignition, Misty Mountains, Cherry Chasers, Firefighters, and Dynamic Dynamite. This is the last chance for any of these marbles to get into the qualification spot or secure their qualification spots. As it looks like the Dynamites currently hold the lead here. Misty Mountains now overtake Firefighters, actually going to second. Dynamites actually fell into dead disaster as the Firefighters still holding the lead. Misty Mountains looks like they're trying to overtake for the leads there in the final battle. Will they be able to do it? No! The Firefighters will be winning this race here over the Misty Mountains. Cherry Chasers get third, and Dynamic Dynamites will be getting fourth here, unfortunately for them. As we take a look at this replay here, what happened to the Dynamic Dynamites? Looked like they stumbled actually in that second blue funnel actually, and that led them to fall quite far behind here, giving them quite a poor time, I presume. As you take a look at the last of the replays and the times, Firefighters are actually going to go into P1 over 22.25 second time. That's actually going to be quite good. As you're going to take a look at the overall podium now for this event, Firefighters do manage to win, followed by the Crystal Cyclones in second and the Misty Mountains in third. As you see, the overall results for this event now, Blaze, the captain of the Firefighters, do really good in this event, but we're not sure the teams that qualify yet. We'll have to wait for the last heat of Group B. Speaking of Group B, here it is now, the Lavenders, Icy Hots, Midnight Warriors, and Bubblegum Swirls. And we are off. Who takes the early lead here? It will be the Icy Hots currently taking lead. Icy Hots, I think, are currently dead last in the qualifiers. They really need this event to go their way to have any shot at all at qualifying. Looks like now Bubblegum Swirls take the lead. Lavenders in second, Icy Hots hold to third. They need to catch up in this final funnel. Will they be able to? No, they will not. Bubblegum Swirls will win this heat quite easily, and I think that also guarantees the Icy Hearts will not be qualifying for the season, unfortunately, as a new team. But the Bubblegum Swirls and Lavenders, Bubblegum Swirls might actually qualify for the season. Lavenders are already qualified for the season heading into this final event. Now, Bubblegum Swirls, if they get themselves a good placement here, they could get themselves in the qualification zone. We'll of course have to wait for the other results to confirm for sure. But right now, Bubblegum Swirls actually do get a really good time with Sweet there of their member Indigo, Lavenders, and Magma and Veteran. Icy Hearts and Midnight Warriors as they now move on to Heat 2 of Group B. Space, Misty, Gooey, and Crisp, Base Pirates, Team Smoke, Sticky Slimes, and Crisp Tacos. As they are now in the gates, and they are rolling. It looks like Space Pirates are trying to get out the early lead, but Sticky Slimes, they do manage to overtake there. As they enter into the third funnel, who's going to take the lead? It will be the Space Pirates. Space Pirates, they immediately, looks like they get overtaken by Crisp Tacos there, and it looks like that is true. Crisp Tacos now have the lead, and they're going to hold over the Sticky Slimes. What happened to Team Smoke there? They struggling in that last yellow funnel. That's going to be a very poor time for Team Smoke. That might put them in the non-qualification zone for them, depending on how bad that time is. Space Pirates as well, I've noticed they were also having a poor time here in this heat. As we take a look at a replay, even though they had the lead early on, they got look at that. They got knocked by the Chris Tacos. That allowed Chris Tacos to take the lead in this heat and win. As we take a look at the final section of this replay space part. Do manage to finish, and then Team Smoke finish right behind them. And oh, look at that time from Team Smoke. 32.32 second time is not gonna cut it. I do not think it'll be a miracle for Team Smoke if they even qualify at all. As we now have Plum Perfection, Navy Aircraft, Dirtbox, and Aqua Surfers. Here in our final heat for Group B. This is the last chance for any of these teams to have a shot at qualifying. Looks like Dirtbox currently hold the early lead here. They get knocked by the Plum Perfection. Now Plum Perfection has a lead, and it's quite a big one. The Aqua Surfers do manage to knock into them. Will they be able to take the lead because of it? Yes, they will. So now a battle between Aqua Surfers, Plum Perfection, and Dirtbox. Will the Dirtbox be able to get into it? No, they will not. Plum Perfection will win this final heat, followed by the Aqua Surfers and Dirtboxer. Navy Aircraft didn't really do anything in this heat, and that might cost them qualification here in this final heat, depending on how bad their time was. But look at that, this battle was really between the Plum Perfection and Aqua Surfers there. Dirtbox tried to get into it here in the final sector, but it was unfortunately too late for them. They just couldn't find the opening in time. And that allowed Plum Perfection to win this heat, followed by the Aqua Surfers. As you see, the times of Plum Perfection are going to go into fourth, Aqua Surfers fifth. All of these times are actually quite bad here. As you're now going to see the podium. Chris Tacos are going to win the final event here. Bubblegum Swoosh will be getting second, and Sticky Slimes will be getting bronze. As you now see the rest of the results here in Group B, and we'll find out who will qualify after the results show up. And the teams that have qualified are Skyknights, Team Oreo, Firefighters, Reckless Reptiles, Chaos Crew, Crystal Psychos, Lavenders, Crisp Tacos, Dirtbox, Space Pirates, Sticky Slimes, and Team Smug. Team Smug barely qualifies over the Bubblegum Swirls. As we see you in the next event, which will be the Ice Dash. We'll see you for then.